Today we're going to be finding out the best spawnable by doing a tournament. Each round of spawnables will be versing against each other in 1v1. If they die a single time, they're out of the tournament. The contestants who win will move on to the next match. So here's all the contestants that will be in the tournament. You can pause right now to see who's in it. Anyways, let's go into our first round against Asher Super vs Bruce. Asher Super ends up not dealing enough damage. Bruce ends up moving on to the next round. Mr. P Super vs Eve's Gadget. Eve's Hatchet lands onto both the Porter and his Super. Eve's Hatchet ends up not dealing enough damage, and that caused Mr. P Super to move on to the next round. Mr. P's Gadget vs Spike's Gadget. Spike's Gadget stood no chance because of course this cactus doesn't deal any damage. Mr. P's Gadget ended up moving on to the next round. Tara's Gadget vs Lola's Super. Lola's clone quickly finishes off Tara's Gadget in 2 shots. Lola's Super ended up moving on to the next round. Tara's Super vs Eve's Super. Eve's Super didn't have enough time to spawn any hatchling in time. Tara ended up moving on to the next round. Nani's Peep vs Penny's Cannon. Nani starts out by just going in circles to increase his damage. After that, Nani sends out her Peep, but sadly it ends up not dealing enough damage. Penny's Cannon ended up moving on to the next round. Leon's clone vs Tick's Super. Tick's Super immediately exploded on the clone. They both ended up dying. So we decided to let Tick move on to the next round because it deals damage unlike Leon's clone. Gus's Ghost vs Scrappy. Gus's Ghost immediately explodes but does not deal enough damage. Scrappy ended up moving on to the next round. So that's all of round 1. Now let's see who survives in round 2. Bruce vs Mr. P Super. Right away Mr. P powers up his Porter with his Gadget. But that ended up not being enough because Bruce quickly defeats both the Porter and his Super. Bruce ends up moving on to the next round. Lola's clone vs Mr. P's Gadget. Lola ends up killing the Porter pretty quickly before it got a chance to do anything. Lola's clone move on to the next round. Tara's Super vs Penny's Cannon. The Shadow speed was way too fast, quickly getting rid of the cannon. Tara's Super moves on to the next round. Scrappy vs Tick's Super. Tick ends up exploding onto Scrappy but failing to deal enough damage. Scrappy ends up moving on to the next round. And that's all of round 2. This round will really determine who wins. Bruce vs Lola's clone. Lola immediately started dealing massive damage, but that wasn't enough damage because Bruce ended up killing the clone quickly. Bruce moves on to the next match. Tara's Super vs Scrappy. Tara's Shadow standing no chance. Scrappy ended up activating her gadget right away and ending up getting an easy kill. Bruce vs Scrappy. Bruce and Scrappy both immediately activate their gadget. Luckily, Bruce ends up stunning Scrappy before dying, but the stun duration wasn't long enough. Scrappy ended up winning the whole tournament. If you ended up enjoying, make sure to consider subscribing and I'll see you in the next video.